This morning, when you got up, went to the bathroom, took a shower, do you realize that over 1 billion people in this world don't have water? 1.2 billion don't have access to sanitation. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about being able to go to the bathroom where it's safe, it doesn't contaminate the water, it doesn't contaminate the ground.
Water for People's mission is to help communities in developing countries build sustainable water and sanitation systems and also help them with the health and hygiene education. I had the great pleasure of visiting a community in Honduras 2 years ago, before they had access to water or sanitation. And when I first pulled up to that community, the women had been hiking up the side of a mountain 3 miles each day to access the cleanest, clearest source of water. And so they would gather their water each day, put it back on their head, and carry it back down the mountain. And they didn't do that just once a day, they did it several times a day. I had the pleasure of also returning a year later after they received their water and sanitation system, and the people were so excited to see us. They were quite proud because they could shower, they could wash their clothes, they were very clean. They had been practicing good health and hygiene practices within the school and as well as at home. They no longer had to hike up the side of the mountain. So the women were able to start businesses, they were able to take care of their children, the girls were able to attend school, and so the entire atmosphere of the community was so different, and they were so truly empowered. And what I was so excited about is now that they had the water and sanitation system, and had met the mayor, and the mayor had been involved with building the sanitation system, they decided now they're going to go down to the county seat and ask the mayor to help them build a school. And so they had become empowered to truly change their lives.
Water for People is one of the unique organizations around the world that has an impact on water supply and sanitation at community level. There are many people who do projects all over the world, but Water for People understands that successful projects require more than just building a community project and helping a community. It requires building up the backup support to that so that the private sector can provide spares so that the water resources of an area are sustained. I've seen projects where communities have gotten a water supply, the system's broke, chaos has ensued, and it's been terrible. I've seen projects by Water for People where projects occur, communities get improved water supplies, young girls go to school, they get educated, families have new alternatives in the world in terms of economic development, they're able to sell more produce, they're able to engage in other income-generating activities, and their lives change. You're fundamentally transforming the way that communities spend their time.
You don't want to create an atmosphere of charity where they're always looking to other countries to solve their problems. Instead, Water for People acts as sort of a facilitator between the communities, their local governments, the non-governmental organizations or other charities that work in that region, and the private sector companies. The materials, the supplies, the know-how exists within the countries to solve their own water and sanitation problems. So Water for People is always looking to the future. We don't want to always be there helping these folks. We want them to learn how to help themselves and to know where to go to access the information and the necessary supplies to really change their own lives.
You know, when you buy a car, you make a difference because this company supports Water for People. It supports the fundamental rights of everyone to have safe water and sanitation, and we appreciate that.
When Kuni Honda sponsors an organization like Water for People, they're really thinking globally while branding locally. Sanctuary Golf Course is a very exclusive golf course just south of Denver, and they only allow 23 charities every year to have a tournament at the sanctuary. So it's very exclusive, it's very private, and it's very quiet. And we were lucky enough to be one of the charities chosen. We asked Kuni Honda if they'd be interested in being a sponsor of the event, and they, of course, signed right up. They, first year, just sponsored the hole-in-one event, so they had 2 cars out there, and trust me, nobody gets a hole-in-one on this course. And then the second year, they decided to be a full-fledged sponsor. And so the event is truly very special for Water for People. It's the single largest fundraising event that we have. And over the past 3 years, it's raised well over $1 million for our organization.